All right. As I stated earlier in an earlier press conference, was that I didn't have an awful lot of information to put out. I do have an additional information to be able to give to you all right now, and I'll just kind of go over just a little bit of what we talked about earlier. But at around 4:45 this afternoon, through dispatch, we received a call on a possible deceased body on a trail over in Broadacre subdivision. Our officers responded to that, did find a body, and tonight, just around 9 p.m., detectives identified a person of interest and arrested a 15-year-old male, and is being charged with second-degree murder in the death of a 13-year-old young lady. I'm not going to give any names out, and I'm asking that you all give this family some time, and just out of courtesy, I'm not going to give a name. I think they deserve that. And due to this active investigation, they're still looking at some other leads just to see if there's anything else that we need to do and follow up on. These men and women that are standing up here, I give them all the praise and thanks for the job that they've done this evening, this afternoon, and all through the night. And they'll continue doing the work that they need to do to make sure that we have an ending to this case, and also bring some closure to the families. I'm going to ask our community to give a unspoken prayer to this family. I don't think any of us that would wake up one morning and think that this could happen to your family. But these detectives that are standing here beside me and behind me, I'm very thankful for the job that they've done very diligently, making sure that they've covered everything that they can, going out, following up on leads to make sure that we can find some kind of closure, not only to this case, but most of all to the family. And please remember this family. I know that it's going to be quite some time for, excuse me, for them to be healing. But I think also what I want to say too is that for our law enforcement professionals, these men and women up here, nothing prepares them for a day like today. Nothing at all. I've said it many times that we have these officers, these detectives, they see things on a daily basis that the average person will never ever see. And then they're expected to go home to their families. Sometimes I think they're treated as robots and think they should not have feelings. They do. They're human just like everybody else. But for them to work so hard and so aggressive on this case, I'm so thankful for that. That shows this community of Knox County of what these men and women do each and every day. And I'm very proud of them. But I'm certainly not taking away time from this family. So at this time, again, I don't have much more information I give you, but I'll take a few questions if you have any.
Sheriff, can you just again stress, I know a lot of you guys have kids, grandkids, 13 years old is an age a lot of folks can resonate with. The tragedy, and just what was it like for your department and you personally being there, having to relay messages to that family?
You know, it's tough, and we had some of the detectives that are here right now that that went with one of our chaplains as well to inform the family, and you know, it's tough on them as well to give that kind of information or go to the family and tell them that they now have lost a loved one, and nobody expects it, but you know, to unexpectedly have somebody show up at your doorstep and then tell you something that tragic. It's not only, again, I don't make light of it, it's not only tough on that family, but it's tough on those individuals that go there as well. They weigh on that, and I say that to all of our recruits, and I say it probably way too much, but these men and women see way too much on a daily basis that our average citizens out here may never see in their lifetime, and they see it many times, and so it's tough. And again, my thoughts and prayers are certainly with this family.
Are you able to provide a little more context, maybe how long you guys have been aware of this? I know, how long had this 13-year-old been missing for? Are these both people from East Tennessee and that Powell, is that Broad Acres area?
They're from there, but I'm not going to get into most details because I don't want to put too much out there to hamper the investigation, and also when it comes to trial, there's some things that we just don't want to get out right yet, and eventually it will.
Can you talk about, I know we mentioned that's an area that a lot of people frequent, so a trail that a lot of kids in that area are familiar with.
Sure.
How this 13-year-old was discovered is, I'm sure, a question a lot of people have tonight.
It will, and you know, it was by somebody else going down that trail, and it's a trail that leads from that pool area there, and it goes to the Weigels down the road, and I think that's where a lot of kids have used that path, so that's why it's there. And but yeah, it's but I do want the community to know this is an isolated incident. They do not have to be worried about somebody out there right now. This is an isolated incident, and we have that individual in custody right now.
Do you believe they knew each other?
We think so. Yeah, we think so.
Are you able to kind of talk about how the body was left there on the trail and what it kind of looked like there at the scene?
I don't really want to talk about that just for the fact, you know, I don't want families seeing this and then say, here's what we saw. It'll come out eventually, and but I'm just going to leave it at that.
Sheriff, are you able to tell us, is this scene still being controlled tomorrow morning? This might be breaking news to people then. There might be kids going down that same path that they're going to run into.
They may. We've got some people that are out there, still out there right now, so they may run into somebody, but the area has been somewhat cleaned up, but we've got some people out there.
Are you still under the belief that more arrests will be made in this? Or you're not ruling it out yet?
Not ruling it out, but there may be some additional charges or something that may come about the later investigation, or the continuing of it anyway. But again, let me stress that I'm very thankful for this crew standing here beside me, because they've worked very diligently, and they've put themselves out there making sure that everything's covered and protecting this community. That's what they were doing. And lastly, I'm going to say that our thoughts and prayers are going to continue being with this family. Anybody else? Thank you all. I appreciate you coming.